You are live for music lovers only. Boom.
For music lovers only, the podcast.
We got these woods, we got these acres, got a stream and a dream, country roads and paper. We got these woods, we got these acres, got a stream and a dream, country roads and paper. We got these woods, we got these acres, got a stream and a dream, country roads and paper. Times are getting hard, that's what my daddy said. I said, Daddy got a plan, this is what's in my head. I miss those.
Bam. What's up, everybody?
I'll be done in like an hour, okay? And then we'll listen to
Here
it.
we are. It's Saturday. Josh, JRB5. We got Mr. Matt Bauler. We got Derek Releford, who hasn't probably got his headphones on yet.
Holy shit, you did it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We can't be late or the Facebook gets mad at us.
Holy crap.
We don't want to piss them off. And
Yes.
then down in the corner, got the most Alex to Alex and Alex. That's
Now the
not
question that's on everybody's mind is which Alex did I Alex?
Yeah, there.
And how do you Alex?
Very carefully, I assume. Very carefully. Don't want to get too much Alex on you.
It depends on which Alex again.
Yes, again. So tonight we're going to talk favorite concerts, and I mean we're going to try to correlate some songs to it, just so we can make a playlist, because that's kind of the fun. I think a lot of people like listening to the playlist. I do. I go through and listen to it a couple times.
For sure.
And we were, what was it? It was Jimi Hendrix and Alien Ant Farm going head to head on the last little poll. That was kind of surprising, but Alien Ant Farm won. I got one. I got a W.
Nice.
Yeah. That's because we took the whole Jurgens thing out of it.
Took the fun out of it.
Which I actually had one for that too.
I forgot to tell you, we nixed that, but
You know what? Since you didn't know, go ahead and give us your Jurgens.
Mine was gonna be Tarja, the former singer of Nightwish. Her cover of Alice Cooper's Poison.
Nice.
Super good.
Wow.
Yeah.
You win.
You know, the sad part is that is my least favorite Alice Cooper song. Oh, thank you though for reminding me on the list.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. We got to figure out what to do and how to repackage it, I guess, to where, I don't know. But yeah, I did have a question. We'll do the question first. What was the first song you remember falling in love with? What song, growing up, whenever you fell in love with music? And I probably should have thought about it more before I asked it.
Oh, we know what your first song was.
That wasn't the first song. I mean, it definitely probably would have been a Beatles song. My dad was a big Beatles fan.
Yeah.
So pinpointing which one would be hard, but it was probably the Beatles.
I'll go. I can answer this. It was Motley Crue's Livewire. I just remember being a little kid, and there's Nicky Six, and he's got his fucking bass in the air, and his legs are on fire, and just fucking everything's over the top, crazy, Mick Mars is spitting blood up, and then you have Vince's platinum blonde fucking thing just banshee screaming over it. I'm like, this. Like, I'm all of 3 years old. I'm like, this. I used to bug my parents. I'd be like, hey, why don't you put on the record the one with the glove? Because, like, if you remember the Too Fast for Love cover, that's what it was. But that song in that era, that's what fucking put me on this path of not being able to get laid.
Oh my god, that's awesome, dude. I don't know you very well, Alex, but we're Facebook friends.
Oh yeah.
And all of your posts all make sense now.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice to get the full picture of it?
It's like now I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm gonna say AC/DC. You shook me all night long. That's AC/DC is my mom and I's band, and we always jam out to the Back in Black album as a whole, but that particular song we turn up a little bit louder.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's actually what I was listening to before this started, with some AC/DC.
Yeah. The kid started playing it. It's fun to listen to her play it.
I was pretty sheltered musically. I was raised by Pentecostal Christian parents, and they pretty much only they wouldn't let us watch MTV unless Michael Jackson was on, which I find now kind of funny.
That is kind of weird.
That was the one person they said was a safe person. But so I grew up listening to a guy named Carmen, and I got to tell you, for a guy in a suit, not bad. But when the first time I ever heard a song that I felt like holy crap, like I didn't know somebody was probably Weezer, Say It Ain't So, and it was a band in this town north of where I'm from, and they were all 15, and they played it at a few shows, and I thought they wrote it because I had never heard that song before, and I went up to the singer and I was like, dude, that Say It Ain't So song, dude, you're gonna get a record deal. He's like, you're dumb. I learned it and I played it at parties until I got an email from Josh Sauer and he asked me to stop, so I haven't played it since.
Oh, dude. That's a great song, though.
Yeah.
And I know who Carmen is, too, which is kind of weird.
There we go, buddy. There we go. If you know who Carmen is, can you at least tell me that you've seen some of his music video work?
Yes, I have. We had babysitters because my parents would dump us off for the weekend so that they could do whatever the fuck they do. And the people that watched us, thought I was going to hell for listening to Pink Floyd at the ripe age of 10.
Yeah, for those who don't know who Carmen is, just go to YouTube and type in Carmen and Satan Bite the Dust and sit the fuck back.
Nice.
Yes. But yeah, there was I don't know, should we do the birthdays again? I wrote down a few. There was some pretty interesting ones on this one. Lou Reed had a birthday this last week. Love Lou Reed. Look, we had we were talking Dave Navarro, kind of the same vein. Brian Jones, Rolling Stones. Johnny Van Zandt. Harry Belafonte. Who knows anything about some Harry Belafonte?
Heard the name.
Yeah, Roger Daltrey. Justin Bieber and Keisha. They had birthdays.
Is it Keisha or Kesha?
Kesha. I said it wrong. I'm an idiot.
Did you guys see the video that was going around 2 days ago of Justin Bieber under the influence of something? Eyes and teeth moving fast. It was kind of odd. I was like, whoa, Biebs?
Was he under the influence of Kesha? Because her love is apparently a drug.
I got a little crush on Kesha. I ain't gonna lie.
How do you feel about Kesha though? She got famous for all that music, and then she comes out and says that she was basically a slave by her producer, and she doesn't. I don't know. That's actually the whole Kesha story is a pretty tragic story.
It really is. No, it's really sad because everybody that ever gets famous usually is there's something bad. Good normal people don't make it to that level. And so, the sad part is her story's probably not unique at all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get started on our list. Matt, you want to go first today?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
All right, so number 5 is going to be at the Cotillion. And it was Lamb of God, Hatebreed, Behemoth, and 3 Inches of Blood.
I was there. I got Jamie Josta's I Love Vagina wristband at that show.
Lamb of God and Hatebreed, they're 2 of my favorite metal bands. And it was cool seeing 3 Inches of Blood because I don't even think they're around anymore. But my song from that was actually goes to 3 Inches of Blood, their song Deadly Sinners.
Deadly Sinners, nice.
Yep. Number 4, the last show the Kansas Coliseum ever had. It was Korn, Static X, Black Label Society, Mudvayne, Suicide Silence. There was a bunch of locals. I wish Wichita would have more shows like that.
I was there too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I was there too.
it was
That was a
supposed to
great
be
show.
outside. They got moved inside. I don't know, just to see all those bands at one spot.
Yeah.
And it being the last show at the Kansas Coliseum, like that place,
I missed that place.
man.
I feel like we got ripped off by the Interest Bank Arena.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not even bigger. Like
No.
we're not getting bigger acts because the fucking building's the same size.
Yeah,
It's way smaller.
Fucking wankers.
Yeah.
but that was the only time I ever got to see Static X, and I was like front row while they were on. I got to meet Tony after their set, which was really cool. So my number 4 is going to be Static X, Push It.
Nice.
Number 3, also at the Coliseum, it was Ozzy, Rob Zombie, and In This Moment. I was at that time, still am, but was at that particular time really into Ozzy. And when I found out he was coming to Wichita, I lost my shit and begged my mom for tickets, basically, because it was around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I was like, please. I'm glad I got to see Ozzy when I did, because I mean he's officially done now.
Worked that show.
Until he's not done again.
Yeah, he quit in 92 and then had a lovely career afterwards.
From what I understand, he had a pretty serious spinal injury 4 years ago.
Yeah. It was that the four-wheeler one?
I'm not sure. I know that like his spine, the recovery process since whatever happened to him hasn't really. I mean, the guy's old,
Right.
and those aren't easy years that he lived.
No.
He pushed it to the limit. So, I mean, yeah, I get it, but it's, I don't know.
But it was, I mean, the show itself was phenomenal. It was like a god awful cold. It was rain and ice and snow and all that garbage.
Yeah.
But number 3 is going to be Rob Zombie, Demonoid Phenomenon. Rob Zombie is my favorite like musical person.
I was gonna say what he made it. That's twice he's made the list, right?
It was. He puts on a show anytime I've seen him, and I don't really remember In This Moment's set from that show, but I
do.
I'm not.
I do.
Not much for them anyway. Tom Smalling, shout out to him. He kind of recommended their older stuff, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did not. There's stuff they put out now. I'm just not a fan of.
I saw I think Rob Zombie on the Rock is Dead tour, I believe, with Korn and Video Drama, something like that. Like that back then, I don't know, I think it was like 99 maybe. That Rob Zombie, like he had like 50-foot robots dancing, and just like fireballs shooting out into the crowd.
Yeah.
And like I was like 18, I was half blown away, half like, turning into like my mom, like this can't be safe.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
I mean, I wasn't even on the floor. I was up in the stands, and every time they would shoot fire out, like it was like you were too close to a campfire. I'm like, this can't be safe.
Yeah.
And Rob's up there with dreads down to his butthole, just shaking his head. Like, I'm just like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, man.
Yeah.
Great show, though.
Yeah, I've seen Korn more than anybody else, and I'm not like a big Korn. I like Korn, but I've seen them more than anybody just because they toured with. They had some of the best. They were part of the best shows.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's the same. He's probably second that I've seen that. I like his movies better than I like his music. I like White Zombie.
You know,
I mean, it's campy, but
right?
give me Wednesday 13 any day.
So yeah, number 3, Rob Zombie, Demonoid Phenomenon. Number 2, Back to the Cotillion. It was MSI, Mindless Self-Indulgence,
Oh,
The Birthday
nice.
Massacre, and Tub Ring.
Nice.
James, what you know about Tub Ring?
Tub Ring?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know shit about Tub Ring.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I failed you.
We've stumped James. That's a first.
It happens. It's gonna happen.
We mark this 15 minutes and 45 seconds into the episode 9. We got a stumper.
Well, I mean, I guess all the bluegrass counts, right?
Well, yeah, but bluegrass is just covers of,
I know, but like now that
other music.
now that the prettier Alex isn't here, I can talk so much shit on bluegrass.
I like
feel
bluegrass.
free.
I appreciate it.
I respect it, but the shit annoys me.
I love banjo and mandolin.
And now
man.
nobody in Wichita is going to come out to see us play ever again because I just fucking violated something horrible.
I don't hate it, but like, I don't know if I like that. The word it's Winfield, I think, where they have the festival
Yes.
every year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to shit on it because like I know a lot of people that go, but like I just feel
Right.
like I don't mind that kind of music, but 3 days of that kind of music, I don't know, guys.
You get so excited about it.
Yeah.
I've
You know, it's like ICP, but like potentially less showers.
Yeah. You know what though? Honestly, the most moved I've ever been by a performance was I was visiting this college I was visiting my ex-wife at college when we were dating in like the mountains of North Carolina. We went in like some store on a Saturday, and it's a famous song. The chorus is, I don't know, the lyrics are "Cheer Up, My Brother," but it was like these 3 dudes all with like 1 guitar, 2 banjos, and they're singing this song just perfectly, and they were all like at least 111, like just old people. But I mean, I kind of got teary-eyed. I don't know what the song was about. I was just like, this is good. Like you could tell that that's pretty much all those dudes have done since they were kids is just strum. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
All right, where do we leave off?
Number 2, MS. It's gonna be MSI. Shut Me Up.
Yep.
That's my favorite song by them, and I'm glad I got to see them at least once.
Do you think they really hate Jimmy Page?
I mean, it's possible.
I was such a prick when I was in high school that I fucking just completely just shut him down. Like I heard that, I'm like, no, I have no room for you in my heart.
So what? They came out publicly and said they hate Jimmy Page.
They had a song called
They
I
have a
Hate
song
Jimmy
called
Page.
I Hate Jimmy Page. Yeah.
Yeah, he calls him the hard F word too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, with the hard G.
Yep.
Definitely hard G.
Oh.
See, this is the thing about mindless self-indulgence. It's like, it's very interesting music. Like it's again, not 3 days of it, but like in the proper setting, it's great music. Do I want to hang out with anybody in that band? No. I don't want to be in that band. Like not at all. But it's hard to maybe there are people that copied them, but I don't know any other bands that sound like that.
Yeah, I know a little bit of them, but not a lot. I mean, I don't know any
Like
of
I
their
said, I
stories.
shut my heart. I
Yeah.
said no.
So for number 1, it's gonna go Hartman Arena. Best show I've still ever seen to this day. It was Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper, and the song is gonna be Alice Cooper, "School's Out." That's what he opened with. It was the curtain fell. He's standing there with the top hat, the cane. "School's Out" opens up, and I just lost my mind. Like I didn't sit down that entire show. Like, I mean, 2 people that put on a show. That's it. No other openers, and it was amazing.
Alice Cooper is.
Yeah. Just
Like,
to
I
see
saw
them
him on
two
Motley-
together was killer.
But yeah, I saw him on Motley Crue's other farewell tour, and he fucking smoked them.
Yeah.
Like, back to the beginning of the podcast, Motley Crue got me into this shit. But like after seeing Alice Cooper, I was like, dude, that was worth the price of admission. I can go home.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my funny story about my mom and dad. My dad was a big Alice Cooper fan, so of course I love Alice Cooper. But the only concert he took my mom to was an Alice Cooper concert. And if anybody knows my mom, she wouldn't be. She's not down for Alice Cooper. But it's pretty funny that he talked her into it. This was way before me and my sister were born and stuff. But that's the story with around my family about Alice Cooper is that time your dad drugged me to an Alice Cooper concert. And it was the 70s, so you can imagine the atmosphere of an Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
See, he's such an eclectic dude because all I knew of Alice Cooper was Feed My, like Wayne's World, I was like, and it's great. Like that's gnarly, but that is just like one of the many faces of that dude. My favorite Alice Cooper song, and it's actually me and my wife's song. I didn't even know it existed. I was just laying there in bed one day with Spotify just randomly spinning, and it was from like the 60s, his album Whiskey and Lace, You and Me.
Yeah.
Nothing like Feed My Frankenstein.
Oh yeah. No, he had a
it,
disco album too, Stuck on the Inside, which is great.
Honestly, man, like he is like somebody who's hard to hate. Like, so yeah, like I big ups to Alice Cooper for forever being a chameleon, maybe a culture vulture in a little bit of a way, but he does it well whenever he does something.
Yeah. So Alice, if you're listening, hey, come on the show.
I always looked forward to nights with Alice Cooper. Back when it was like 107.3, when it was a classic rock station, they had nights with Alice Cooper. And then they got moved to like Nikki Sixx. But I mean, either way,
Alice,
I
White Pride.
both of them. But hearing Alice, I could listen to Alice like all day. He's all the stories he had. He played songs that the station didn't normally play. It was cool.
Yeah, and he's a hardcore Christian. And he's like fucking got his shit together, and like he's non-judgmental, and that's what's
golf
cool
every day.
Yeah.
He's solid in his beliefs, and he's not fucking condemning anybody for theirs. It's like he's
Right.
a role model.
I enjoy that about him too. I don't think he lives here in Phoenix, but he's here a lot because like my brother's wife's a huge Alice Cooper fan, and anytime he's here, like Instagram goes crazy, like in the local pages. But yeah, I have yet to hear a shitty story about that guy. Like it's always been like he was so cool.
Yeah,
We have that with Harrison Ford here.
Yeah.
Does he really live there?
No, but like he's here because he owns a Cessna, and we've got the Cessna plant, so he flies in for maintenance. And then like everybody's like, I served Harrison Ford today. And
yeah.
Dude, you guys lost Kirstie Alley recently. Hold on.
Yeah.
I know, like our cup runneth over.
I know.
I gotta be honest, dude. She was. I'm a fan of BBWs, and she did it for me for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. What was the one where the movie she was in where the people came and visit house guest, I think. Her and he was on Night Court.
Sinbad?
No. Oh hell. No, I gotta look.
I heard some people say that they had some unpleasant run-ins.
Oh, yeah.
with her.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
used to be a butcher at the Gucci Dillon's here in Wichita, and she would send her assistant in, or she'd come in drunk. I mean, it was just always a fucking horror show.
See, I haven't decided if I ever get famous for something like growing the biggest tits or something. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be a dick or not. Like, because it's a
I don't know if
choice.
I could handle it.
It is a choice.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the good is often interred with the bones. It's Shakespeare had his shit down, man. He was probably a huge dick when he go out into public because we're still talking about him. Famous people are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
Everyone that I've I haven't really met celebrities, but musicians that I've met, everyone that I've ever met has been cool. So lucky on that. But I've heard stories about.
It was Madhouse with John Arquette. Or Larroquette, John Larroquette.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. She's like, got her bra out. There's some moments in there.
Some J.C. Penney's Jurgens.
I think it's like 35 minutes and 12 seconds in. Got paused a lot. No, we just ruined it again. We derailed.
I know you can't get away from it. It's human nature.
Yeah, it's human nature. But all right, who wants to go next?
I guess I will. Because Matt shortened my list because I was at all the same concerts he was at. I just didn't know him yet.
Yeah.
He's like everything
know
that
anybody.
guy said.
Like I've been going
Okay,
to
so, like-
03, and I'm just like I didn't know anybody at that time. I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Now look at me,
Talking to the whole world.
everybody.
Motley Crue's Carnival of Sin tour was really good. I worked that one, but I just remember like midway through they played On With the Show off of Too Fast for Love.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for sad songs, and like the first line, Frankie died just the other night. Some say it was suicide. It's like there's just so much in that song. And it was such a fucking deep cut. Because like after you've been, a band that long, like everybody's expecting Wild Side Girls. And they did that shit. But to hear On With the Show was crazy. And I remember I was backstage as the show wound down and Mick Mars is kind of walking off. But you could look at him, you just got the sense of like fucking, it is pure will that he was on that stage playing that night.
Yeah.
He looked so frail coming down at the end of the show. And fucking, so that was huge. Like, I love that song. So like, that was a tears in my eyes moment. Shit. I saw Dax Riggs at Rock Island Live.
Ooh.
That was insane. He did a cover of Elvis's Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh shit.
And it's like a sticky July night, and they've got those fucking like almost lanterns, but like Christmas lights that crisscross the outside because it was an outside show. And like I'm fucking so drunk on whiskey, and it just like it was such a syrupy vibe,
Yeah.
Like there was this like electric danger that was in the air, like we're gonna be a part of a murder tonight. And not even in a sad way, but like in this romantic film noir 1940s way.
And you said it was
like
at the Rock Island Live too, right?
Yeah, it was outside of Rock Island Live.
Was that before or after the story? All that shit happened there with the basement.
Oh, well before that. But like it was fucking crazy. Not
What's up,
Rock
Kevin?
Island Live, not Rock Island.
Oh.
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
But like fucking it was a cool thing because like I took a piss next to him, Like you gotta love that level. Like I grew up loving Acid Bath, and here he is, my hero,
Yeah.
awkwardly holding his dick as I'm like excitedly like looking over.
Oh yeah.
That got really awkward. Okay, gotta go back upstairs, honey.
Daddy's talking about dates.
Right?
Acid bath.
FCC is
Acid.
now banning us.
The next one would be the first time I saw Testament at the Cotillion. And Testament, it was Anthrax's show, but Testament was there and Death Angel. Fucking killer bill. But I remember during Anthrax's set, they lost power. And I want to say it was, oh fuck, man. I think it was during Antisocial. And so they stopped. And Scott Ian just walks out, and it's like they only lost half the PA or something stupid like that. But he just kind of starts entertaining like a clown until they get it figured out. And what was really cool is once the power came back on, they just look at each other, the rest of the band comes back out, and they're like, okay, we're going to fucking try this again. And they do a 4 count right into the spot in the song where the power dropped. And fucking just slayed it. That was fucking just over the top cool.
Nice. What's up, Joshua Riggs? Thanks for tuning in again.
My goodness. There's too many. The first one was, or I guess number 2 for me, was I saw Ted Nugent, Kiss, and Skid Row. But it was like the original Kiss on their first farewell tour.
Yeah.
The first of many. Like in 2001. So like there was actually Ace Frehley, and that was just fucking That was killer.
Yeah.
Um,
We knew how much you like Ace Frehley.
oh yeah, dude. No, I fucking love that shit. And from that, I thought it was really cool that they did do, you know, like some of their 80s shit. Like they did Heaven's on Fire. And like, how else do you begin a song? But woo! You know, so that one. And there was all this fire, and you could feel it.
That was all of them, wasn't it?
Shit, I don't even want to talk about it. Kiss, man. Slayer. Fuck it. That was cool. Hell Awaits. There was so much pyro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the coolest concert experience I ever did was I saw this chap called Ian Moore in Greensburg, Kansas. And it was just him and a keyboard player. And I got to work him when he came back through the elbow room later. And we talked about this night. But he was just playing his songs acoustically. And my buddy took me because, you know, he knew I love guitar music. And halfway through the song called Caroline, the power cuts out. Like they just lost it in this theater that's no longer there because of the tornado.
Yeah.
The Greensburg one.
Yeah.
And I just remember, instead of fucking stopping, he just hops off the stage with his acoustic guitar and plays through the aisles, still singing the song.
Yeah.
And like, that was the fucking coolest moment in the world. And they have some live versions of that song, Caroline. You know, they're just amazing because it's just him and an acoustic. But that moment, you know, it's just like you saw something that you'll never see again in your life. And it was just so special and intimate. And that's what a professional is, you know? Like, he didn't let the show stop because the world fucked him. He just hopped down. He was singing through the aisles, man. It was fucking crazy. That's my story.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin says, back in the New York groove. Mr. Kevin Hansen coming in on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
Daniel says, such a beautiful song, too. Sure, she's
I
talking
forced
about
every
Kevin.
girl that I've dated since then to listen to that song.
Yeah. Forced to
Not
listen
just
to it.
only Danielle.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind, only
Yeah,
Danielle.
yeah. Kevin says, all the shows at the Outhouse. Assume that's in New York, Kevin.
No, the Outhouse was like this little shithole
Here?
around Topeka. Like White Zombie played there on their first tour, and you can find clips of it on YouTube.
Nice.
Is that right, Kevin? Am I remembering that right? We need the Jeopardy soundbite. Yes.
Yep.
Easter, Kansas. There
Easter,
it is.
Kansas. Yeah, we'd probably get shut down for that. Knowing my luck.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, knowing my luck. Yeah. So that's your number one, right? What was his name again?
Ian Moore.
Ian Moore. I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Oh, dude, he's got I mean, it's not metal. It's like just easy listening guitar rock, but
Yeah.
he's amazing. He's got another song called Today, which is a beautiful funeral song.
Yeah. You like Elliott Smith?
That sounds very familiar. I can't think of it right now.
He's got some good sad songs and a weird story.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'll
he
look
like
that up after.
he like thought people were trying to kill him, and he ended up dying in a weird way. Everybody's kind of like, "Oh, you're just paranoid." I mean, he was, I think, strung out too, but made beautiful music. You know, it's a bad.
Yeah.
It's a
There's
bad
also-
correlation that people on heroin write really beautiful music. I mean, I wish it wasn't true. And then they stop and they don't make good music, and they go back to doing it, and then they die. And it's a very sad, tragic thing.
There's a large amount of people online that don't accept his suicide theory. He was with another person when he passed.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact story, but I know there's some weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's and the reason, okay, if he did in fact unalive himself, he did it, like, in my opinion, in one of the most gangster. He stabbed himself in the heart twice.
Damn.
So that's what makes you be like, okay, I could believe somebody else did it. But if he really did that, then. But if you listen to 3 Elliott Smith songs, like,
Yeah.
I love Elliott Smith, but if you listen to more than 20 minutes of it at a time, you might do the same thing.
Do the same, yeah.
Very sad shit,
Yeah.
man.
You might like it, James.
Huh.
In my opinion, the best Elliott Smith, his best song, in my opinion, is a song called Pizzala. It's just like, you listen to that song and it's just like the saddest song I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, yeah, that's a good. I like Elliott Smith.
It's still Lynn's "If You Steal My Sunshine's" my saddest song I've ever heard.
You notice I put that on the list too. I was like, I'm putting it on the list. I don't care. I don't care. People are like, what? What? No context. They're like, this is not a sad song. I've got many messages from it. Believe me.
The fact that it exists is a sad song.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's not one of my favorites. All right, Derek, you want to go next?
Yeah, I probably can't put them in order because Alex didn't tell me what the topic was until 11 minutes before I got here. But
well, we don't really have rules, so you won't be judged, or
okay.
We will not think any less of you. So
I haven't been to a ton of concerts. I don't enjoy them as far as like just too many people. Not a big fan, but some of the best concerts I've ever been to. Probably surprisingly, like the most. I don't know, like you guys aren't gonna believe this, but one of the most amazing concert experiences I ever had was Creed. And I got tricked into going to that show because I was a big fan of there was this metal band from another country. They were all women. One of them got pregnant by Tony Iommi. I forget what they were called, but they were.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Right, but they were like a metal band, and they were sick. But anyway, they were opening, so we were like, "Oh, we got to go see them." And then Our Lady Peace, which I'm a huge Our Lady Peace fan, and he knocked it out of the park. But we were in like whatever building that OU played basketball in at this time. It's probably like 2001, and Creed comes out, and like I hate Creed. You know, at that point, I'm just like, this is so lame. And I don't know, man. Like they had. You know, they went to 11 as far as volume goes. Like the ceiling tiles, about 15 of them fell down onto the crowd throughout the night, but they weren't like real heavy, like they were just breaking upon impact. Like, but Creed, again, I don't know much about Creed, but I know that Mark Tremonti is a pretty good guitar player, and if you turn it up really, really loud, it's pretty cool to be in the room with him while he shreds. Yeah. But me and all my friends are headbanging, and we're all looking at each other like, you tell anybody we're having a good time, I will kill you. But yeah, Creed was surprising.
Where's Thomas when we need him? He would have loved that one. Thomas is usually the one that mentions Creed, Nickelback, or
Wonderwall.
Wonderwall, yes.
Yeah. Let me see. Shit. I went. The Korn show was pretty cool. I was a pretty big Korn kid at the time. I was wearing a FUBU jersey every day. I met Fieldy that day, and he came up and he signed my FUBU jersey, and he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you're cool. You're real cool, man. You're cool." I just kept saying that over. I was like 15. But yeah, it was a cool concert. You know, I'm from a really small town, so you can show me like any celebrity and I'll freak out. Like, but yeah, it was just like seeing Korn like on stage. I was like, holy shit, like it's them, you know. It was really cool. I saw the Get Up Kids, which is a Kansas band. I saw them in North Carolina, and I was super homesick for Kansas at that time. And that was a really cool show. They're, in my opinion, they're a great band. They're probably my favorite Kansas band. Like that was on like any kind of major label.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done anything in a while. I don't listen to them much anymore, but I really like the Get Up Kids. That was a good show. I saw Ben Folds play one time. I saw him play with a band once, and it was okay. And I saw him play a solo show one time, and that was really good. He was like doing like half storyteller, half.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so like it was kind of cool to, and probably the song. Let me think. Yeah, the song that resonated the most, because I saw him in Winston-Salem. No, I saw him in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was crazy because like this was well after he was, you know, famous. Like he's from a town called Winston-Salem, which is like 60 minutes from Raleigh, and he's playing in front of a huge audience in Raleigh, but he's opening for Tori Amos. So nobody cares about Ben Folds at this show except for me. And he sang a song about I guess he went to a party at the old bass player from Ben Folds Five's house, and some guy took acid and went up into the tree and like stayed up there all night long, and people were worried about him. They thought about calling the cops, and he came down in the morning and like he was a born again Christian, and he just stayed that way. Like this was like a 12-year, like at the time he wrote the song, it was like a 10-year-old story, but the guy was like straight up hardcore born again Christian. So that was my favorite song because I never knew what it was about. But yeah, let me think. I'm kind of drawing a blank, man.
I think it's weird. Like as we go on, like I think of more like really cool experiences.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to a lot of concerts. I don't go, I mean, I'll go to shows, and, the Corn and stuff like that. And, I mean, we've seen I Bubba Sparks, but I left before Bubba Sparks came on just because it was.
As you should.
I mean, I like a couple of his songs, I mean, but it was, he didn't even get on until like 1:00. And I mean, his people didn't start. It was, For the Birds. I mean, we had a huge showcase of ours. Nick Gibbs, For the Birds. I mean, we had probably, 5 or 6 local acts. And, I think I was trying to record them. And so I was working. So, I mean, by 1:00, I'm done. I'm done. I'm ready to go. Fuck Bubba Sparks. No offense, Bubba Sparks, because we know what he's listening to.
Yeah.
But,
Do any of you like the band He Is Legend?
It sounds familiar. Like I know the name. I don't know that I know the music.
Okay. Well, I always forget. A lot of my friends in Oklahoma like it, but they're a North Carolina band. And anyway, like they're decent, like in size. They're like a national band. But I went to probably 10 He Is Legend shows, like local shows. This is back in like North Carolina back in the day, but I never saw them play live because I would go like, and there'd be like 9 metal bands on the bill, and I'd get through like 3, and I was just like, okay, like I gotta go home, So like all my friends that like really like He Is Legend, they're like, you've been to their shows? I'm like, kind of. I was there for their openers, but I didn't know who He Is Legend was, and I just left every time. But yeah, I never got to see him live.
Alex says, I fucking love you, James.
We love you too, Alex.
How's the moving going? Yeah, so was that your number one, right? Or you got one more there, Derek?
One more.
Do you? I'm asking. I spaced out. I was at a different planet for a minute.
Alex
I
has
saw
that effect on people.
I saw the Foo Fighters when they toured with the Chili Peppers.
Nice.
And I got to meet Dave Grohl for a few minutes.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
I like Dave Grohl as the drummer of Nirvana, but I mean, Foo Fighters is okay. He's very talented. I give him props, but it's not I'm not gonna bag on him, but it's not my favorite music.
Wow. I love the Foo Fighters, man.
Oh,
there's just something syrupy about them.
The first couple albums, but
the first time Foo Fighters played Interest Bank Arena with Gary Clark Jr. And that was the first time Foo Fighters had even played Wichita since '94. They played the Cotillion with Ween. So I was like, I have to go see the Foo Fighters. And they did a really cool thing. They did a Beat the Bots pre-sale, which meant you had to go to Interest Bank Arena and wait in line to buy tickets. That was pretty. I wish more bands would do that.
Yeah.
Those bots ruin everything.
Alex says, thanks for covering Matt. She was brought down by a seizure. Damn it. Stop it, Alex. That's an order. All right. So I guess I'll go last, right? Got 15 minutes left. I don't have these in any kind of order. We'll go with Jessica Leigh Mayfield. She's a young songwriter. Kind of dark, sad stuff, and just very beautiful. She did barleycorns, and like really close up and personal. And it was like one of the first concerts I went to after the first divorce. It sucks that I got to think of which one it was, but after the first one, and so it was great. It was magical. I mean, I just stood there, jaw dropped. And so that was a fun one. The second one, or number 4, we'll go with In This Moment, which is kind of, we opened up for him at Oz Cafe and Librium, and I don't know if I've talked about it on the show, but I was just my jaw was like, Maria came up and said hi, and I'm just like, my ex-wife is ribbing me in the side. I'm like, oh my God. And by the time I came to and was able to articulate words, she was, already gone. And I don't remember the show at all, but just, to say that we opened up for her is pretty cool. Then we'll go with number 3 would be Blue Oyster Cult, which I'm not, up until I seen them. If this was at the Cotillion, I can't remember who opened up for them. I don't even know. Maybe they opened up for somebody, maybe. Because didn't they like Leonard Skinner, maybe? I don't know. But I wasn't a big Blue Oyster Cult fan, I mean, what's Fear the Reaper, right? Or the Reaper.
No, you don't fear the Reaper.
Fear the Reafer. But
burning for you.
Go Godzilla was, live. And again, it was more of who I was there with. I was there with someone I thoroughly enjoyed their company. We had a good time. She had never, I don't know how really honestly we got there, because we weren't Blue Oyster Cult fans. But that was a magical moment that I'll never forget. She's up there. She's got 2 of them. So that's pretty cool. That's a bonus for her.
I can't talk about all the concerts that were special because of the girl I was with. I'll die in my sleep.
Yeah. But like I said, that definitely made it. And then number 2 is going to be the same kind of sentiment, but this is with Joe. When Static X came back with the guy that was replacing, you were there, weren't you, James? Didn't you go to that one?
No, I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I was just looking at their itinerary. They're out there with Fear Factory, Dope, and they're doing that again, and I would fucking love to be there.
I think New Imperialism opened for them, and then a band, an all-girl band called Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh.
Yep.
And I mean, right there, you're thinking. I mean, I'm sure there's some Christian. I mean, they talked a little Bible-y in there, but the songs, these girls freaking rocked. I mean, it was, the bass player was Wes Borland. I mean, she took all of her stage presence. It looks like she copied Wes Borland completely. And the guitarist, I can't remember, for the life of me who's she, but I mean, all 3 of them just kind of took a persona from old rock and roll. The drummer was Tommy Lee. He kept, she kept doing the spins and, doing the high boom boom, do the spins like Tommy always did. And I can't remember who the guitar player was.
I watched their videos on mute. I should have turned it off, but no, I mean,
but they put a very, very good stage presence on. The kid loved it. So I mean, I was like, yes, okay, there's a all-girl band, that's up there rocking out. And then I thought Static X was a little weird because Wayne, it wasn't Wayne, and they did the ghost face thing, and I don't know where the kid came from that's doing him, so I don't know.
It's Edsel. They finally admitted it's Edsel Dope.
Oh, okay.
Kevin was at Static X twice.
Twice, yes. I was screwing things up on the buttons. I did pretty good until then.
Holy fuck. See, I feel like this night could go on forever.
Yeah. Well, I think I officially got one more. And then, so we're gonna kick back and go story time. This was, I think, 98. I looked up the year. It was 1998. I was, a year out of high school. and a guy I was working with hit me up to go. So me and my buddy and him and his buddy, we all piled into my Blazer. We made it to the Oklahoma border. Truck overheated, so we turned around, changed oil in 2 other trucks. This was in Dallas. And so we headed south to Dallas. We were going all the way to Corpus Christi the first day and then come back. So we drove all night, pulled into Corpus Christi in the morning. And I don't know, we must have ended up in the really, 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 really dirty side of the beach because it was awful. It was hot. It was July. So, we're jumping in the Gulf to cool off. I'm in there like 2 seconds to see sharks, see 2 dorsal fins. Of course, everybody thinks I'm tripping, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'm not dying. I've seen Jaws. I'm good. I'm done. And so we were going to camp overnight and then go up to Dallas the next day. So we went to the south side of the pier, set up our tents, 5 minutes all full of sand. And again, it got hot. So I hop in the ocean again, and same 2 dorsal fins. I swear to God. Pop up, and of course everybody still thinks I'm tripping, and I'm like, I don't care if I'm tripping. And then my buddy's like, oh hey, look, it looks like a plastic bag or a plastic bottle in a trash bag. It's a jellyfish, you dumbass. Get out of the water, it's trying to kill us. But so horrible, we decided to leave Corpus Christi, drove all night back into Dallas. Me and my buddy get up in the morning, had to go take care of some business, get our minds right. And so we're driving around, get pulled over. And the cop lets us go. My buddy is in a purple S10, and we were dumb, and we're like, we're just here going to go to the concert, man. Don't arrest us. And so he lets us go. My buddy goes back to the back. I don't know what was said. I don't know what he had to do. I was just freaking out in my head, just like, oh fuck, I'm going to jail in Texas. I'm going to jail in Texas. I don't know how I'm going to get out of jail in Texas. Holy shit. And so we walk into the Metallica concert at Dallas Stadium. First thing we see is him riding around on a bike. He's like, hey, what's up, boys? I'm like, thank you, sir. We're not worthy. And it was like Metallica. It was their summer sanctuary tour. Metallica, Kid Rock, not Five Finger Death Punch, but Power Man 5000, Rob Zombie, I think Black Label Society, Korn. System of a Down, System of a Down. It is a huge, and so we're watching the whole show from the nosebleeds because the guy I worked with didn't want to get general admission tickets because it's kind of scary down there. We're like, dude, what are you thinking? So me and my buddy spent the whole time trying to get down there. Finally, Metallica took the stage, and the guy that kept telling us no, he was trying to get this girl's number, and she's like, oh, just let him in. And so he's like, fine. And so we beeline straight for the front. Jason Newsted, which I think he had a birthday. Yeah, he had a birthday. I missed that one. But he came out first and was like, oh, Hatfield's, I can't remember if it was when he hurt his back or it was in rehab or whatever, but he's not here. And we're like, oh, what the fuck? And so he sang the first song, and then, Kid Rock came out and sang some songs. Power Man 5000 came out. So it was like a big jam session, Metallica jam session, which I'm sure the whole tour ended up being that, but to experience it was pretty cool. Mucky and Head came out, jammed and played, and it was like, what? This is nuts.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Everybody up in the stadium and the chairs were ripping the cushions off of the Dallas Cowboys and just chucking them down onto the floor. So there was like this huge fucking pile. I'm like, you guys are idiots, if I'm stuck and I got to sit here, I want my ass to be comfy. So I was ripping everybody else's off and keeping mine. Like, yeah, you dumbass. I hope your ass hurts.
And like, I don't know, to tack on and wax romantic, but like even in Wichita, I've seen some cool like new wave of heavy British metal bands come through.
Yeah,
like Anvil, shit that you would never fucking expect to see, and they're coming back through May 5th. But like another one to tack on would be I saw Raven, and probably nobody knows who Raven is, but it was a 3-piece from England that inspired Metallica and all that shit. But they ended up playing Shamrock because their fucking gig in Oklahoma City fell through. Nice. And Dean Book, like fucking just sent me a message and said, dude, you need to show up at this. And I did. And it's like fucking 3 real English people at the Shamrock. And they fucking put on such a beautiful show.
Yeah. Very intimate.
It's cool, like when those bands, that you saw here come back down a little bit, but they're still fucking playing, for fucking 10 people, like 10,000.
Yeah.
I love to see the love of music.
Kevin says all 5 Hank Jr. shows he's seen, he's fallen off stage every time.
You think that's planned, Kevin? See? Yes. Dude, it did.
Yeah.
That was a fucking killer show.
Seeing John 5 at Barleycorns was
Right?
epic
Yeah.
as shit. Like,
I didn't get to see it. I
Oh,
seen
dude.
Wednesday 13 at Club Liquid.
Annex. Oh, Liquid.
Annex.
Yeah. Downtown,
Wow.
right across the street from the Mosley. I think that's what
The first time I saw Wednesday was at JC's House of Rock with Dog Fashion Disco and Blood in the Wire. And Death to Nancy open. Shout out to Farley.
yeah.
That's the show that I met Farley, actually. So the floor was completely like full for Dog Fashion, and then they got done and everyone left. So I got right up front for Wednesday. It was when he was like still on his first album, his first solo album, and
Yeah.
so Eric from Murder Dolls was still guitar for him. But yeah, that show was definitely
Yeah. This
badass.
one, I don't think there was any opening. He was like late, and there was like 10 of us.
I remember hearing about that one. I went to the 2 before that. It was at JC's, and the other one was at the Scenery.
Yeah, I mean, this was.
Oh, I miss the scenery. I saw Cannibal Corpse there.
Dude, they brought some shit. Like, I mean, I love that place. That and the Oz Cafe were like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're just the legendary venues. Like all these giant bands have played, and
Yeah.
seeing Evergreen Terrace at the Oz Cafe
think-
was definitely one of my favorite concert memories.
I think we opened up for. It was Gun. I can't think of it. It was like Guns N' Roses. It was the gun from Guns N' Roses band afterwards or something.
Like Velvet Revolver or
No, it may have been he may have
LA Guns?
LA Guns. Yes. Isn't that the guy from Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, Tracy Guns.
Yeah. That was at Oz. We opened up for them. Can't remember who else opened up with us. Again, I can't remember that show.
Man, I miss Romero and the Oz, man.
Yeah.
I remember one time we brought Deicide.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Or when we brought it was Beneath the Massacre and Jungle Rot and Dying Fetus.
Yeah.
And that was fucking cool because like there you are with like 15 people and there's Dying Fetus on stage and they just shred and Necrophagist. They were co-headlining on that. It was Summer Slaughter and just like fucking jaw drop. Like I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. And then Green Jello.
Green Jello. I remember we were supposed to play with Anal Cunt too there, but their van broke down on the way.
Yeah. Damn them bands. All right, it's a good show. I think as the weather gets nicer, we'll probably have a little less participants. But he's trying to do things. But yeah, we'll
I think what we should do is like plan and just go do things with them while we do the podcast. Let's take it mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, but I don't have a laptop. I can't carry my PC everywhere.
No, we'll coordinate, Josh. I'll make this happen for us.
Make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
I'd love to make it mobile. I drive by my work. There's this building, this office building. Okay, it's like it's balancing on a little pillar. Okay, and that's like the stairway to go up into the office building, and the office building kind of overhangs this pillar, right? It's like 357 Lulu. I can't remember. Lulu.
Okay.
And it's for rent. But I've always loved this building. I'm like, I want to turn this into Room Green headquarters right here. And it's just like 2 blocks away from my work. So I drive by it every day. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? But yeah, manifestation.
Yes.
Yes. Somehow, somebody pay me lots of money so I can rent my building. We are very entertaining. You love us. All right, guys.
Jokes.
Thanks for coming on. I think it was a great podcast.
Oh yeah.
The Alex has missed out. She was supposed to send a list, but I guess she went down. So we'll forgive her. We'll forgive her.
Derek, it was great to like chit chat with you, man.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Next time he comes on, he's got his own. We got a theme for him next time. What was it again?
Songwriters or band members that died tragically.
Elliott Smith is your number one, right?
No, but he's up there. That's pretty.
Yeah.
If you like Elliott Smith, you should check out an artist. You might probably already know who it is. Nick Drake.
Yeah.
He's died by.
Can we do one where we do artists that should die tragically? Throwing that one out there because yes.
You guys want to hear the joke of the week?
Oh fuck.
So what do you call the hair between a grandmother's tits? Her vagina.
Boom. On that note, have a good Saturday night, everybody. Thank you.